Hello, hello. Just have a little look around. We're at the Sevens, just up towards our lane. Just leaving there. Beautiful place. Look at that. I should drive around again. In fact, we'll do one more lap so you can see what the place looks like. This is a car park that nobody ever sees, purely because you're never allowed in here. Let me just take a little run about and you'll see exactly where we're talking about. That's in the distance. That's where the cricket happens. And as I drive up here, it's a bit that you probably recognise better than anything. In front of us, we can see the iconic stands with the spotlights as we head towards all the groovy stuff. What's up to you as well? As we take a good view of Dubai Rugby Sevens. That's kind of cool. The event's every year, and it happens around about the first weekend in December. And I can't believe it, but I've been hosting it now for about 15 years for everybody who's ever been along to Dubai Rugby Sevens. And unless you're very, very old, you'll remember a time before that. And not many people do. Even I find it hard to remember. Oh, sorry about that. I just like, in your face. Can't do that. Got to drive carefully. Otherwise, the crash which would be bad. Right then. So, I want to share with you some interesting things all about the Rugby Sevens. If you've never been to Rugby Sevens, by the way, it's a crazy event. It's probably the biggest party anywhere in the UAE. And the reason that it is a big party is we've always created it a bit like a Friday brunch. But it lasts for 3 days, and people go along, they enjoy the rugby, and basically at the end of it, it's like auditions for The Walking Dead. If you can imagine about 100,000 people all taking part in those auditions, it's about right. Now, for anybody who's been in Dubai for a very long time, and I'm assuming, I'm talking very Dubai-centric here, and I apologise for anybody who's at any part of the world that hasn't been to Dubai but is still interested in hearing what we've got to say about it. There used to be a guy who used to do it was probably, in my opinion, the best DJ that's ever been in Dubai, a guy called Big Pete Martin. And anybody who's been here for a long while, at least 20 years, remember the legend that is Big Pete Martin. And he used to run the best Friday brunch I'd ever seen. And the reason it was so good is because he did the same thing, well, he did the same thing every week, more or less, with the same kind of tunes, more or less. But because they weren't the songs that you'd normally hear in a party, they became our own legendary songs. And he did an amazing session, starting off with the brunch, playing a bit of background music from about 12 till 3, and then the party would start. And it would go on till about 3 in the morning. And for anybody who's been around for quite a long time, you may experience and remember certain parts of it, and there may be blackouts of when you went along and really enjoyed it. So Pete used to do this amazing karaoke as part of it when we had the build up to, but his choice of tunes was fantastic. Now, I took a lot of those elements of enthusiasm and added them to Dubai Rugby Sevens for the party to exist the way that it is right now. And I mean, I don't press the tunes, I don't play over music anymore. We've got Andy Mavis, who does a fantastic job of that. But over the years, we've had many, many guys: Gavin Hunter, Andy Pizer, Jeff Price, some real superstars of music and entertainment who've come in and worked on it. But we very much aim it at getting the best possible buzz that you can do out of the audience. Now, purists will turn around and say, no, it's all about the rugby. People should love the sport. They should enjoy the sport. The music's secondary. No, it just doesn't work. Life doesn't work like that, unfortunately. If you really want to get more people involved and the party to be even bigger, what you have to do is realize that most people don't give a monkeys about anything apart from what's in it for me. I've mentioned this before on previous broadcasts. So what's in it for me is a guaranteed party. The rugby is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. It's like having 700-meter sprinters against 700-meter sprinters with no padding, one ball, a massive pitch, and the need to kick 7 bells out of each other while trying to win. Now, that's pretty much Rugby Sevens. It's a phenomenal sport, and that's why this year it's going to be on at the Olympics. Now, the Olympics Committee came along and watched us in action. I'm not saying they stole our ideas, I'm not saying that at all, but I noticed that the last Olympics, which was in London, involved a lot of elements that we've been using at Rugby Sevens for years, which is in between the sports, you just wind up the audience. You make a great big party for everyone to join in on, so when it comes to the actual racing or the sports, whether it's ping pong or whatever they're doing, you have this massive atmosphere coming on. And we worked very hard in creating that. I'm not saying we're the best at doing it at all, but we found that the atmosphere of the audience is the most important factor, making sure people love it and making sure they come back again. And I think that's a key thing to anything involving entertainment. And it's one of those things that I think people miss sometimes. when it comes to putting together an event. You can have some very good corporate events and you can find that you do the job that everyone else does. But if people don't walk out and say, that was amazing, I can't wait for the next one, you've missed out on a major opportunity to do something special with it. And that's what we aim to do at the Rugby Sevens every single year. And so with this year, we're looking to add a few more elements that we've never had before. And I'm going to be looking for some people to join the team, which is why I'm sort of telling you now. I'll tell you more about it as we get closer to Rugby 7, so you have to make sure that you're involved in watching these regular podcasts. In case you don't know, by the way, podcasts, by the way, would mean that I'm only talking. This is a video podcast, but we'll probably put it out as an audio, depending on how it goes. But it's on Facebook and Twitter, and we're putting it on YouTube soon as well. So every day you can follow me on the way to work, me on the way back from work. Hey, Dave, that's fascinating. Thanks, Dave. We've got nothing better to do than watch you and your big fat face on the screen. And also, we'll be sharing with you lots of things during the day when we do interesting things or events and so on, so you can join it live. Because Periscope gives you the opportunity to become a live broadcasting house. Woohoo! Hello to Brenton, by the way, Brenton and Darius, who should be watching us from Be Unique and DB Hospitality. If you want me to give a shout to you and your friends, by the way, please feel free to say hi. And thank you for joining me, by the way. I do appreciate it. And if you spread the word and tell people, I guarantee that every day, certainly every weekday, a big hi, I can't read properly, to, well, there we go, DB Hospitality, I think it is. I can't guarantee that'll be on every single day, because on a Friday and a Saturday, which in the UAE is your weekend, I tend to be at the beck and call of my family, and they ruin everything. But what I might start doing is sneaking in a broadcast first thing on a Friday. The only problem is everyone will be fast asleep. After a Thursday night out, we'll be just like, no, Dave, we didn't watch it. No, we were sleeping. We woke up at 12 o'clock. If you're up earlier than that, then you're an idiot. Why would you consider talking to anybody? So we'll just have to see how the response goes on a Friday and a Saturday. But I might add some sneaky stuff in it as well, just to see if you're interested. So as the Rugby Sevens continues, we've got some elements we're going to be adding to you, which I was going to tell you all about, which hopefully you'll be enjoying too. Which is that we're looking to start the very first ever. Do I look sweaty? I do, don't I? Because if I turn the AC up much higher, then all that's going to happen is that you'll hear whoosh, and you probably won't be able to hear me at all. I'm assuming you can hear me at all. Instead, I'll just get out the tissue and give it a little dab in. Sorry, I apologise. The lady from makeup hasn't arrived yet, because I'm driving too fast and there is no lady in makeup. So, I mean lady from makeup to do makeup on me. I don't wear makeup, alright, just before we start. It's just a thespian phrase that I'm using. Thespian. Now, thespian means somebody involved in acting, not somebody who likes carpet. Moving on, so we're talking about Rugby Sevens. We're looking to create this year the very first ever Rugby Idol. I'm saying it now because I'm in the process of talking to various sponsors, various venues around town, and various people who will be interested in taking part in this. Imagine this, you come along and you have a lot of fun with the Dubai Rugby Sevens anyway. Every year you come along and enjoy it. And the best part of it, apart from the rugby, is really the big sing-alongs. People love it. When you put on Bohemian Rhapsody or something like that, everyone sings all the words, and you've got best part 45,000 people joining in the world's biggest karaoke. Wouldn't it be great if we ran a competition all the way through the bars leading up to the Rugby Sevens, and the winners of the competition get to sing live on the pitch? What do you think? Well, if you're a singer or a budding karaoke person, then you can imagine what that would be. That's 45,000 people. That's like a U2 concert. For you to sing your stuff in front of them. And we'll have nice prizes, and we'll do the competition properly, and blah, blah, blah. But that's what we're toying about right now. I'm just giving you this exclusively from the meeting that we just had. So I'm telling you now, so you can start thinking about whether you'd be interested in joining. I'm always at the beck and call of people who want to call me. I think I know who it is, so I'll have to call them back. We're probably going to say, hi Dave, we're watching you on Periscope. Why don't you just type like everybody else, and then we'll know. So that's an exclusive. If you want to share the word and tell everybody who's interested in karaoke that something very big is coming, then I'll let you know more about the dates and the prizes and the way you can get involved very soon. We're talking to all the different places around Dubai and potentially Abu Dhabi that do karaoke, and we're going to get the very best ones and share them with you. So if you do like karaoke or you like to watch, then the ultimate prize will be to sing in front of 45,000 people. but also the fun, if you're not a singer, is to go along and watch the heats and spread the word, tell your friends, and see if you can participate in some way, shape or form. Now, I know about that person who's just called me is going to want me to call them back. I'm really sorry. I've almost finished the podcast for now. I just wanted to share that news with you. I may well come back to you in a little while to share with you some other ideas. Oh, by the way, Hisham, nice to see you, bud, joining us once again. I'll tell you more about what we were going to be talking about, what we were going to be doing later on, because it doesn't look like we're going to be doing it after all, but we might be doing something else instead, so I'll let you know. It's very coded, and it seems like I'm talking to one person here. Another thing that's coming up, which I'll share with you, is in about 2 weeks' time, is it? About 2 weeks' time, then we'll be hosting the World Club 10s rugby tournament from Mauritius. Oh yes, I'm sorry, it's a terrible thing. Really go to Mauritius? Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to fit it all in. It's just so... Sorry, I don't know why I'm talking like that. But that should be cool now. But for you, you're saying, right Dave, I hated you before, but I hate you that little bit live, and we'll give you regular updates. So you were coming to Mauritius with us in about 2 weeks' time. That's between the 18th and 19th of June. So put that in your diary, he said, knowing that nobody's going to write anything down. Meanwhile, I want to concentrate on my driving. I reckon that in about 15 minutes' time, maybe even 10 minutes' time, I'll be stuck in traffic. If that is the case, then I probably won't be able to talk to you because there's never any internet, because everyone's just on